Howdy y'all, Andy McCabe here with Claims Delegates and the leader of a band of rebels called the Restoration Rebels. I want to talk about drama today and gossip. Drama and gossip. The fact is, the closer you get to something that's important, something that's threatens the status quo, something that could be probably the most important thing you've ever done, the closer you get to these things, the more friction you are going to experience. That's just plain and simple fact. I started a group last year with no real intention, just a thought, just an idea that the way insurance claims are handled in this country, the way insureds are treated, and the way restoration contractors are treated is wrong. And why don't we do something about it? It's as simple as that. And I had no idea where it was going to go, but it went somewhere. We're going somewhere. We're now the Alliance of Independent Restorers. We've got 2,600 people coming together, sharing their pains, sharing their experience, sharing their knowledge, sharing their wisdom. But as this year has gone along, it seems like every success has been met with an equal amount of anger and bitterness and judgment. And I've been pretty damn discouraged about a lot of it. And it comes down to the fact that we're actually doing something. 275 people showed up in Nashville, Tennessee in May. And we're moving the needle on these things. We're realizing that we're not alone in this industry. But change is scary. Change is dangerous, especially to a closed mind in an old industry. So when you're working against closed minds and entrenched ideas and idealistic people, you're going to receive friction. Almost every day I get a phone call or an email that goes something along the lines of, man, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I'm happy to be a part of this. And then I get another one. I like what you're doing, but you're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong. It's not the way I would have done it. You're gonna fail. And what I've come to realize quite recently is the more anger that I receive, the more negativity I receive, the more people coming to me and saying, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, the more I know I must be doing something right. I've said it several times before. If you're not pissing somebody off, you're not trying hard enough. So here's a message to all the haters and the wannabe leaders. Because let's face it, if you were a true leader, you'd be leading right now, wouldn't you? If you had the answers, if you knew the true way to do things, you would be doing it. Gary Vaynerchuk says there's two ways to build the biggest building in town. One is to build the biggest freaking building in town. Work your ass off. Sacrifice. Hustle. Persevere. Second way, which happens to be easier, tear down all the other buildings. Throw hate. Throw discouragement. Throw up roadblocks. Tell people they're doing it wrong. That's not the way you would have done it. That's not the real way to build the tallest building. That's just scorched earth policy. So if you're receiving hate, if you're receiving friction, I know it's tough to hear, and it might be tough to understand why, but you need to embrace that shit. You need to take that. Internalize that. Don't take it personally, because it's not personal. Someone says, you know what, you are destroying this group. Well, that tells me that they have a lot of anger inside. They have a lot of hate inside. Perhaps they don't feel that they're worthy of being a part of a group like this. So if they're not worthy of being a part of this group, well, they might as well tear this group apart. Right? If I can't have it, nobody can. Guess what? I'm not going to play those games. I'm not going to succumb to that mentality. Because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe that the movement that I started will continue to grow and do good things. I believe that we have the capability to change an entire industry and not even stop there. Take that same model of change and move it to the entire insurance world. Chew on that, CEOs of multi-billion-dollar companies. Chew on that. If I can succeed in my $350 billion niche, what about healthcare? What about it? It's happening. Change is going to come. How many people told Lemonade, well, you're doing it wrong, that'll never work? Well, guess what? Nothing ever works until it does. So please hear me, people. If you're receiving friction, if you're receiving pushback, it's only going to get louder until you break through and prove them wrong. Don't prove them right by stepping back. Don't prove them right by changing your game. Don't pivot away right when you're this close. You're this close to success. Believe in you. Believe in your heart. Now, if you don't believe what you're doing is the right thing to be doing, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. Don't do that. You're living somebody else's life at that point. You're living your life according to somebody else's expectations, somebody else's metrics, somebody else's measurements for your life will never make you happy. And guess what? It'll never make them happy either, because they're not happy people. I'm going camping this weekend. Get back to my church. The woods is my church. Love y'all. Take care. See ya.